Oh, hello. Welcome to tonight's version of Masterword Games. Tonight we're going to be exploring the German board game of the year in 1995. A game called Die Siedler there, but here in America we call it the Settlers of Catan.
1996 U.S. board game of the year.
USA! USA! USA!
Hello, I am Fark Mason.
And I'm Gom Gaylor.
Tonight we will explore the Settlers of Catan.
At this time, we will be discussing the game pieces and game rules for Settlers of Catan. There are many game pieces. You have first your resource cards, or wheat, sheep or wool, lumber, and brick. Likewise, what make up the game pieces in relation to the cards, or wheat, wool or sheep, lumber, and brick. You also have a pair of dice that you use, the desert and the robber baron, which starts on the desert. Your numbered chits, which range from the numbers 2 through 12 with the exception of the number 7, are placed on the tiles. And then you have your building pieces, as you can build roads, settlements, or cities. As you can see, that this game cherishes the tradition of its motherland.
Oh, and I almost forgot. We have victory point cards that also have other special things such as soldiers and monopolies, and with those more victory points such as longest road and largest army.
And now we will move on to setting up the board. You begin with 4 wood, 4 tiles for sheep, 4 tiles of wheat, and 3 brick and ore. The placement starts by putting 5 tiles to divide the board in 2, right down the center of the table, as this will be the middle of the board. The next side, of course, will be 4. After that, you move on to 3, and once you're done with 3, then the board is complete. It should form a near circle. Are the chits. We randomly arrange these. And thus concludes our board. Looking at the board, you will notice that some numbers are red and have more dots under the number. What these numbers represent are the probability of those numbers being rolled on 2d6. So, as you can tell, these 3 red numbers in a row will have to be replaced because the game balance will be oddly skewed if the red numbers are next to each other. So to do that, we're going to randomly determine which numbers need to be replaced. And by doing that, we will use these 2 dice. And now with the land determined, we will now move on to ports. You arrange ports starting from the top and then the 2 opposite sides. So there and there. These ports have been shuffled and are completely randomized. And then to fill in the spots in between the ports, we will use regular water tiles. And thus concludes the board making process.
The average player would not start with every resource. So, before the building phase, you can trade. Trading, you can hand in resources either to the bank or to other players to receive the resource that you desire.
Now normally trading with the bank, you need a 4-to-1 trade ratio. However, with ports, you can even cut down that cost by quite a bit. For example, this port is the wheat port. As you can see, it says 2-to-1. What that means is you can trade 2 wheat commodity for 1 commodity of your choice. Now, with this port, it just says 3-to-1 and a question mark. What that means is you can trade 3 of any of the same type of port for 1 of your choice. This, right here, is what we call the robber baron. He robs resources from specific tiles. To activate the robber baron, you roll a 7 or lay a soldier to move him. And what he does is, for example, if he was on the 8 wheat, whenever an 8 was rolled, only this 8 over here would produce. This would not. And since blue has a settlement on the robbed 8, he does not get any resources. Now, once the robber baron is activated, you immediately steal from a person that has a settlement or city touching that tile.